You know that we got the equivalent of a Mike Tyson uppercut yesterday when it turned out that the whole William Pellin tweet about Silk Song was just nothing, when Fireborn confirmed on Twitter that Leth reached out to him and confirmed that the ARG was nothing. I was very depressed about it last night, but I couldn't have imagined how much fire this would cause in the community. I have been around for a long time. I've been a Hollow Knight fan since 2018. I've been around the community forever. In Discord, on the subreddit, on YouTube. Trust me when I say this, I have never seen people more upset and angry at Team Cherry than I am right now. Not only were people upset because the whole thing turned out to be nothing, that's fine. Understandably, people would be mad about it because we desire news, but people were also really mad that Leth didn't come out himself and make that announcement. In fact, he made it through Fireborn. That really rubbed a lot of people off the wrong way, and people were off the rails. And we have a lot more development in that situation because Leth actually came on Twitter and Discord yesterday, last night for me. I was asleep. Of course I was asleep when something important happens. And he did like a AMA. I'm using that term very loosely because he didn't answer a lot of questions, but he did elaborate on a bunch of things. There's a lot of Leth messages to go through, and usually people will be very hyped and excited about that because that's how it has been in the past. Anytime Leth has said anything, we have been really happy, overanalyzed it, just had a good discussion about it. It's not the case right now. The community consensus is still very negative. People are actually very unhappy with Leth's messages. I am not here to tell you how to feel, and frankly, if you're here just to see me shit on Team Cherry or just to see me glaze Team Cherry, then I'm gonna disappoint you because I refuse to join either of the bandwagons, and I highly recommend you don't either. It's easy to fall into the community hive mind and just go on this huge hate train and just harass the developers, or to go on this big glaze train and just say that Team Cherry can do nothing wrong. I highly recommend you watch this video till the end, go through these messages with me and all the details, and form your own opinion. This was actually a really tough topic for me to tackle, and I've been thinking about it all morning on how I want to perceive it. Do I want to side with the subredditors? Do I want to side with the Discorders? And at the end of the day, I decided that I'm going to side with my subscribers, my community, you guys, and I'm going to be real with you and just present this with my own opinion and my own beliefs that are not tainted by any of the community. Let me start with something positive and that not a lot of people know about. A Reddit user by the name Silkstorm67 actually met Ari Gibson a few days ago. This is not fake. I ran these images through Google search, nothing came up, and he also took multiple pictures with the guy as a proof, so this is actually real legit. This was posted on the Hollow Knight server first, which is where it really caught on, so Silk Song fans might not know about it too much, and I actually find really interesting what conversation they had. He said, I just ran into him. I recognized him immediately since he's a local. I only asked for a photo and said I'm a fan and have been playing Hollow Knight since 2018. You know what? Same, brother. I've also been playing since 2018. He joked that that's probably because you don't have a sequel to play. Absolutely base. And I said I wasn't gonna bring it up, which is actually very respectful from him not to just run into Ari Gibson and hog him about Silk Song. I actually really respect that. And he said something about it being soon. Very friendly guy. And before I give my thoughts, I also just want to highlight this comment from the OP. Team Cherry are just people. They exist on the streets as the rest of us. Because someone said, is this a Silk post? And I find it absolutely heartwarming that every fan interaction Team Cherry has had in person has been just the most lovely thing. No one has ever had any bad things to say about them when they meet them in person. And that just warms my cold, dead Silk Song longing heart. Of course, you can take the soon at face value. You can take it in a bleak manner that it's probably gonna be like, you know, vague soon or whatever. Or you can be optimistic about it, saying that he could have said eventually, but he chose to say soon, so that might actually mean that Silk Song is coming soon. Up to you. Sometimes I wish I lived in Australia so I could run into Ari Gibson. Then I'm reminded of the spiders. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes. The Fireborn tweet yesterday where Leth reached out to him confirming that the Silk Song wasn't real. Someone quoted that and tagged Leth saying, I just want to know if the game is progressing in its development or if the team has given up on the project. Please, I only need a yes, the game is real and someday it will release, please. And he actually responded saying, yes, the game is real, progressing, and will release, heart emote. Again, I find it pretty sweet. But like I said earlier, people have been very bleak about this. And I feel like this is where the divide stands in the community. Half the people say that all they need to know is a confirmation every now and then that the game is still being worked on and everything is going fine. And when we get that, most of the community just riles up against it and says that that's not enough. We're sick and tired of listening to the same thing, that you're still working hard at the game. We want something more substantial. And that's pretty much the consensus on the subreddit right now, and pretty much the opposite of it on the Hollow Knight Discord server. Both pretty toxic in my opinion. That is not all. After this tweet, Let actually hopped onto Discord to talk to the community a little bit, and I'm gonna highlight some of the more important messages. See, already when people put this on the Hollow Knight Discord server, the moderators there are also like, that means nothing except for what we already know. So people are definitely not at all excited to hear that the game is still being worked on anymore. That just doesn't cut it no more. Anyway, someone said, is the game progressing nicely? And Let responded, yup. And that's where the whole Discord AMA thing started. Someone said, so the game is just that big, huh? And Let says, you'll see. Here's a juicy one. Someone said Let left, and he responded, no, I'm still here. These are great and fair questions in here, but the answer to those will have to wait until later. Can't spill all the details yet. I personally take this very negatively, sadly, because of the wording later. I was really hoping, and if you guys have been following me, you know this, I've been hoping for a substantial update in February. I've been really hoping Team Cherry makes a blog post or something and communicate with their fans, give us a proper Silksong progress detail update. If that was the case though, I think he would have definitely said that these are great questions, but the answers to them will be given very soon, because February is like right around the corner. But he said that those details have to wait later. I can't spill all those details yet. Again, you're free to take it positively if you like. Personally, I think this is a big suggestion that they're nowhere near done with this game, and actually later messages will confirm my suspicion, and we'll get to that. This is important. Someone asked, are you one of the devs or just the PR manager? A lot of people have this discourse on Reddit of what Let's actual job is. He says, I try to tackle mostly everything not directly related to dev, like traditional publisher duties, but I am a coder and music composer too, just not for Team Cherry. I've clarified this before in the past that Let's main job is to connect Team Cherry with different brands, different showcases, different kind of, Xbox, Nintendo, their event managers or whatever. Let works as basically a pseudo publisher for Team Cherry. People just mistake the term PR manager as that his job is to communicate to fans. That's the same role he has for Mongoose Rodeo, for Crossone. In fact, he's getting a lot of flack, which I believe is heavily uncalled for. People on Reddit are being ruthless to Let for some reason, as if it's in his control what communication goes out or not. He can only say as much as the team will allow him to say. Let me make it very clear, it's not up to Let to communicate with fans, it's up to Team Cherry, Ari, and William. Let is not holding information from you guys because he's some evil mustache twirling villain, which I mean some might disagree with that. It's just not up to him. To hone in on that point further, someone was talking about how Let must know how big the game is, he kinda needs to promote the game, and he said that I've played the game but can't say much more than that for now. Again, his hands are completely tied. This man, he's doing his absolute best to do damage control to the fires that were caused by William's tweet. I do not envy his position right now. And there we go, he directly clarified that it was not an ARG. It was still impressive saluting skills by the fans. You all are way better than those 2020 drills now. But there we go, a direct clarification from Let that it was not an ARG. I know a lot of people didn't believe Fireborn. Some people were still having their little conspiracies in their mind. There were a lot of people like that in my Discord server who just did not want to believe Fireborn. They were like, no, this has to be part of a scheme. The ARG is still going. We technically didn't see Let's messages. What's going on? Well, there we go. It actually really was nothing. That horse is dead and buried and gone. This one is very important. People say that can't be a coincidence that he predicted the Switch 2. I'm guessing Team Cherry has inside information, and that is a very common belief among Silksong fans. A lot of people believe that Nintendo just lets Team Cherry know everything. That Team Cherry is just so near and dear to Nintendo that they just reach out to them before anyone else and give them all the details about their directs and things. Let's says here again, I honestly didn't know the Switch 2 announce was a surprise to me, even though I heard there were leaks happening. I keep telling you guys, Let has said in the past as well that Nintendo doesn't let them know about any upcoming directs. There's no shot Silksong shows up at a Nintendo event. Silksong is not important to the Switch 2. They already revealed Mario Kart 9. Do you know how insanely huge Mario Kart 9 is, that's gonna be their console seller, not Silksong. They don't know jack shit about Nintendo. They know as much as we do. And that makes sense. It's Nintendo, one of the most stuck in the past, scared of the internet, secretive companies out there. Now, this is a very good question. Yo, Let, might be a bit of an ask, but do you want to shed any light on what happened to the development since the delay in 2023? Is it just more content or something? This is the main question everyone's been asking. Sadly, we get much of a nothing answer on that, where he says, I don't think I can expand on that any more than I did in the Blue in the interview, which is this interview he's talking about. I will link it in the description in case you're interested to go hear it yourself. But it's an interview he did with Blue a couple of months after the delay announcement, where he talked a little bit about Silksong. It's just really sad that he can't shed any more light on it for whatever reason. This one really kind of hurt. Now, this one is actually another sad news. At least that's how I see it. Someone said, you should have ran with it, to be honest. Just post a small update on 2nd of April and people would have been happy. The fact that Let's says that that's kind of brilliant, great outside the box thinking, again, it just makes me believe that they literally have nothing planned in the near future. He wouldn't say this if they had a big blog post or an update coming next month, or if they had Silksong being coming in the direct in April. It's so on the nose, it's like right there, that they don't have anything cooking for us anytime soon. Of course, someone says, Let, do you think it's nice to have a community that is obsessed with your game? It's a great problem to have, truly blessed. I agree, it is a good problem to have that people are mad. I've always been an advocate for this, that the real problem is when people are not mad, because that means that people don't care anymore and people have moved on from your game, which would truly be a scary situation. And by what it's looking, we might be approaching that sooner than later. Now, this is the one that rubbed people the wrong way on Reddit. But someone said, Let, why did you communicate through Fireborn to clarify the ARG confusion? He said, I just thought it would be nice to get clarification directly to Fireborn quickly in this particular case. I don't know. I think that's kind of the wrong way to take it. The emotes say for itself. The first two emotes are like the death face emoji and okay. I'm gonna be honest. I think if he just made a tweet himself, it would have salvaged this situation a lot more, but that's just my hindsight, you know. Someone said, hey Let, is there any update on Crowsworn? Crowsworn has ways to go yet, but like Team Cherry, Mongoose Rodeo are hard at work. I think here he's kind of cheekily doubling down on his earlier statement that he made that Silksong will definitely come out before Crowsworn. People have been saying otherwise, but that's only because Mongoose Rodeo have been on top of their game in communication. They've been making regular Kickstarter blog posts, they've been teasing screenshots every other month. Something is always happening with Crowsworn, and because Team Cherry is so radio silent about Silksong, people obviously are going to believe that maybe that's not true anymore and Silksong will probably come out after Crowsworn. But Let's still says that Crowsworn has ways to go. And I do think that's true. I don't see Crowsworn coming out anytime before late 2026. I said it here first. This one's a little curious for all you conspiracy copers out there. Any comment on Jason Schreier's predicting Silksong to be released this year? He said, haven't talked to him. A lot of people think that Jason Schreier has some insider information on Team Cherry. He absolutely does not. They have not communicated with him at all. They haven't communicated with anyone, let alone Jason Schreier. Someone said, hey Let, on a scale of 1 to 10, how cool will Silksong be when it eventually releases? He said that's for you to decide, but I hope you love it. I'm sure we will. I don't see anyone not loving Silksong. Someone said, well, the whole day is a freaking emotional roller coaster. I'm too old for this. And Let says, try to enjoy the ride because it won't last forever. I hope you're right, Let. So far, it's been pretty much going on forever, the wait for Silksong. It has been the longest wait of anything in my life. If you were in middle school when Silksong was announced, you would be in college right now. Unless he means that it won't last forever because eventually everyone's gonna die and then your ride will end with you, rather than Silksong coming out. That's probably a more probable explanation for this. Someone said, Let, do you consider creating an official post from Twitter account or blog regarding all the things that happened yesterday? I don't run those. If something appears there, it's a real deal. It's not just little old me. A lot of people on Reddit seem to think that this is him like dodging responsibility, that oh, I'm not paid enough to do this. That's not true at all. It's just not what he does at Team Cherry. You can't just make up positions for him in your head and project them onto him. Like I've been saying, it's up to Ari Gibson and William Pellin to communicate to their fans. not Let Griffin. He in fact fixed up their whole website so they could make more blog posts, but we didn't get any. And from everything that we have seen in this AMA so far and all the previous things we've talked about in this video, I don't think we're getting a blog post anytime soon. Or ever. It's just so depressing. Let, what do you think of r/Silk Song in general? Passionate fans, watch out for E1331 in reverse though. Again, people would have loved this usually. If this comment was made on a regular Sunday, r/Silk Song fan will be like, Mom, look, I'm on TV, or oh my god, let acknowledge us, oh my god, so nice, heart emotes. Right now, do you know what they're saying to this comment? Oh my god, look at Let's trying to pander to us just as a form of damage control. I'm telling you, people are more pissed off than ever before. I've never seen this fandom this angry. The hornet's nest, it's been tangled with. I follow most YouTubers on Twitter and not actually on YouTube. I know you follow me on Twitter, Let, but you better be subscribed. Subscribe to Primacon, Let. God damn it, I know you're watching. Do it. It's funny though, Let is actually a moderator for the Primacon YouTube channel technically. And that's pretty much it. That sums up the whole Discord AMA, the tweet we got, the Reddit post we got of the guy running into Ari Gibson. This whole situation, this whole past 2 days have been nothing but an emotional roller coaster. Let me tell you what I feel about all of this, because I'm not gonna jump onto the bandwagon of hate or love. I am very disappointed because I think we're actually not gonna get anything anytime soon. The fact that he thought that giving a small update in April would be like a nice idea, it just goes to show that there's nothing really planned before that. Otherwise, why would that be a nice idea? And the fact that he said that he can't reveal anything, any details yet, like till like later, you wouldn't say that if you had like a big thing coming soon. In fact, this would be the perfect time to say that they do have an update planned in February because of how bad the PR situation is right now, at least in r/Silk Song and in the general public media as well on YouTube. I've seen big YouTubers who don't ever talk about Silk Song talk about this situation. This would be the perfect move right now to calm everyone down, to be like, hey guys, the William Pelin tweet might just be a shitpost, but there's actually something nice coming in February, a good update, so keep your eyes on for that. That would be perfect. I absolutely see no reason for not to do that unless it's nothing there. I know a lot of you will still cope after this to be like, maybe it's surprise Primacon. The amount of cope I've seen, so many people just wanted to believe that the ARG was real, and Nintendo reached out to Team Cherry and they told Team Cherry to pull back because they're spoiling the date of the fucking direct or some bullshit like that. Oh my god. That is just giga cope. I call that the stage 1 of grief called denial. The truth of the matter is, I think my video I made at the start of January stands corrected. We're probably not seeing this game in 2025. I would love to be proven wrong. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your opinions in the comments, but please try to be respectful. I don't want my comment section to turn into a giant cesspool of hate and dog shit. Thank you for 20,000 subscribers, and I'll see you soon with a new video. Thank you. Primacon signing out.
With the world in chaos, what's really needed is someone to finally make sense of human seemingly mad behavior, which is actually what Australian biologist Jeremy Griffith, who I consider to be the new
Musk. De hecho, en ese momento se cagó de risa el señor Johnny. Después entraron los abogados de Johnny Depp, que dijeron, bueno, que el día de hoy Johnny Depp está asociado con una mentira, que a través de este juicio vamos a conocer la profunda, turbia persona que manipuló gente alrededor de ella, como manipuló al señor Johnny Depp. Y por sobre todo, que Johnny Depp va a morir un día sabiendo que hay gente alrededor del mundo que todavía cree que él abusa a las mujeres. Y mirando a la jueza, dijo, vamos a pedirte que le digas al mundo que él no es el abusador que ella describe. Un dato muy interesante también es que nadie en 5 décadas acusó a Johnny Depp de alguna cosa parecida, pero Amber Heard sí estuvo arrestada por violencia con una pareja anterior, eso ya lo hemos visto en este video. Y finalmente tocó el turno a la hermana de Johnny Depp, que subió ahí a responder algunas preguntas. La hermana de Johnny entonces empezó hablando un poco de la relación que ha tenido tanto ella como Johnny con su madre, que la verdad que fue una señora muy conflictiva y violenta con ellos. Pero así todo, cuando la mujer estuvo enferma, Johnny hizo todo para que tuviera el mejor final de su vida. En algunos datos random contó cómo un montón de amigos y familiares de Amber vivían gratis en casas, que valen millones obviamente, propiedad de Johnny Depp, con todas las expensas pagadas, y así todo, esta mujer hizo todo lo que pudo para destruirlo. Hablando de casas, otra cosa interesante es que cada vez que Johnny Depp estaba de gira o en algún sitio que tuviera que estar en un hotel, pedía que le consiguieran una habitación extra porque lo que hacía era escapar de la habitación cada vez que Amber se ponía violenta. Cuando Dior decidió trabajar con Johnny Depp, ¿qué es lo que dijo la señorita Amber Heard? Dijo, ellos están totalmente interesados en la clase, en gente que tenga clase. ¿Por qué querrían trabajar con Johnny? Además, también lo llamaba viejo go. La hermana de Johnny dijo que nunca jamás vio heridas en esta mujer. Pero quizás una de las peores cosas que se pudo escuchar el día de hoy es que el mismo día que murió la madre de Johnny Depp, ¿qué es lo que hizo Amber? Le envió una carta extorsionándolo y amenazando su carrera. Le dijo, voy a acusarte frente al mundo como un abusador sexual. Así que en lugar de ayudar a su marido cuando estaba en su peor momento tras la muerte de su madre, ella se aprovechó. Otro dato muy interesante es que dijo que básicamente era una mentirosa. Enviaba textos de cosas que eran muy dramáticas o explicaba cosas que nunca habían sucedido. Y además dijo que había una forma muy particular en la que tenías que hablar con Amber para mantener todo calmo y pacífico. Si no, era imposible. El día de hoy hubo un par de testigos importantes. El primer testigo fue Isaac Baruch, amigo de Johnny Depp y artista. Y la verdad que este hombre fue el puto amo de la galaxia. La gente en Twitter quedó enamorada del hombre. Entre otras cosas, para entender un poco quién es él.
I'm only got 2 paintings, and all right, I got to do 25. I said a few months. So I ended up going to Johnny's place and saying, hey, look, dude, this is going to take a lot longer than a few months. I could only make 2 paintings.
And how did Mr. Depp react?
He looks at me and he starts laughing and he says, Ike, don't worry. I do not care. I just want you to paint however long it takes. I want you to paint every day.
Uno de los puntos interesantes que no paraban de preguntarle a este hombre es por el maquillaje, porque claro, él insiste en que nunca jamás vio a Amber Heard que estuviera con algún tipo de herida, pero claro, lo que intentaban sacarle es, señor, usted no sabe nada de maquillaje, usted no entiende si ella estaba maquillada o no. Uno de los puntos más importantes de todo lo que declaró este hombre es cuando le preguntaron si él sentía furia, si estaba enfurecido con Amber Heard y si seguía enfurecido. Varias veces se lo preguntaron y finalmente esto es lo que respondió.
Was it fair to say you're still angry with her?
Oh, you know something? It's 6 years.
But we just heard you give your version.
Am I angry anymore? I'm not, what I am is tired. And I want this all to end. Her to go heal, him to go heal. So many people have been affected by this malicious lie that she started and she created, and it's gone out the door and around the world. And so I can't even paint anymore. I've stopped painting for the last who knows how many years. I'm not angry at anybody. I want the best for her to take her responsibility, heal, and move on. And for Johnny, his family has been completely wrecked by all of this stuff, and it's not fair. It's not right what she did and what happened for so many people to get affected from this. It's insane.
Luego entró en escena otro señor. ¿De qué habló este hombre? Bueno, básicamente Brandon Patterson es de el edificio de Eastern Columbia, donde obviamente vivía Johnny con Amber, y lo que hizo es confirmar que todas las cintas que iban mostrando o todos los fragmentos de video eran reales. En este caso había 87 fragmentos de video que se mostraron por diversas cuestiones, como por ejemplo para ver si tenía heridas o no Amber Heard en ciertas fechas, y entre otras cosas también para demostrar que Amber Heard, sí, señoras y señores, engañó a Johnny Depp tanto con Elon Musk como con James Franco. Varias personas que se pueden ver en algunos de los videos han confirmado que la vieron sin maquillaje a Amber Heard. Otra serie de escenas muy interesantes que se mostraron es cuando unos policías salían de la casa de Johnny y Amber y básicamente salían contentos, riendo, como aquí no ha pasado nada, después de supuestamente haberse presentado para una batalla campal, como bien dijo Amber. Este día hubo varios testigos interesantes. El primero, la ex asistente de Amber Heard, reveló un montón de cosas que pintan bastante la imagen de ella. La ex asistente entonces dijo que todo era muy dramático con esta mujer. ¿Por qué todo tan dramático? Bueno, esta mujer dijo que Amber Heard es adicta al alcohol, bebía demasiado y tiene un problema de adicción con una cierta medicación que por lo visto no se nombró. Un poquito después, esta mujer dijo, Amber Heard consumía hongos, cocaína y muchas drogas ilegales. Además, repitió, bebía demasiado encima de todo esto. La asistente de Amber entonces solía verla desnuda, sin maquillaje, y agrega un dato importantísimo a esta historia, que es nunca jamás le vio una marca de ningún tipo. Repito, una persona que estaba todo el tiempo con ella, su asistente. Otro hecho muy interesante que nombró esta mujer es que una vez Amber explotó llena de ira contra ella. Estaba enceguecida, furiosa. Pero incluso peor que eso,